We are live,
And frozen stuff.
but it's freezing. What is going on with this? I don't know why it's doing this. So if this freeze again, we're switching it up a little bit here.
Hello, Instagram. Our other one is for YouTube and Facebook is freezing up on us, so we had to
Yeah, hopefully
adjust
that
some things.
fixed.
This is plugged into a weird spot.
Can you hear it?
Can I hear
Can
it?
you do it? We're having some technical difficulties here. We'll just do internal mic. How's that? So you don't even need these. It's probably not gonna sound as good though. But we are live on YouTube and Facebook. We're live on Instagram. How is it going? How's everybody doing? Figured we'd start off the conversation with a little talk on food addiction because I just got done recording a podcast with Dr. Susan Pierce Thompson, and we dove deep into food addiction. That's been an interesting topic as of late. Some people say it doesn't exist, and it's actually counterproductive to try and eliminate certain foods that you find addictive. Like you should be able to moderate your intake and tolerate all foods. And if you are to eliminate anything, that is going to be lending itself to food addictions, which I personally disagree with. But yeah, what's your take on all this? Food addiction. Is it a thing?
Yeah.
It is a thing?
Yeah.
Any more thoughts than yeah?
I know it's a thing.
How do you know it's a thing?
Because Sorry, everyone. Let us pause our conversation here.
Because what?
Because I feel like I've dealt with it, not on like a crazy level that a lot of other people have, but I feel like I've dealt with it enough to know why I don't eat certain foods because I can't stop myself when I start them.
So is the food itself addictive, or is it the relationship that you have psychologically with the food?
That's a ridiculous thing.
Like nicotine is addictive. Like you smoke cigarettes and you have an addictive...
I was also addicted to those. So
Right.
I'm pretty sure I know what addiction feels like.
Right. So you have an addiction to the nicotine, but it's like an actual chemical response that's happening in your body from that nicotine. Is that happening with food, or is it just simply your psychological relationship with that food that makes it addictive?
I think no matter what, you're having a hormone release, so it doesn't really matter. You're having that same hormone release that you would get when you have a cigarette or something like that. So therefore, it doesn't matter whether it's psychological or like the actual food. It's still releasing that hormone that's making you addicted to it.
So the mechanism is irrelevant as long as the...
I mean, being on a computer screen is addictive, but are you going to blame the computer? Or are you going to blame,
I can blame my computer. What you doing, computer?
You know what I mean? Like, it is the way that you respond, but it's an internal hormone release when you're responding to those things.
Yeah, the dopamine release. It's just interesting because
I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters whether it's psychological or if it's the actual food causing it. Either way, it's an addiction.
I mean, I can buy that. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just kind of playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Some people argue that, it's simply the mentality you have towards things, and that can be changed. So if you have an addiction towards carbohydrates, for instance, rather than removing carbohydrates, they argue that you should just simply change your mentality towards carbohydrates in order to fix that addiction.
Well, there is addictive.
There
is addictive food. That's why companies use people to make their food more addictive. Like Doritos hires a company to make their food more addictive. They put things in their food that makes it more addictive. And I think sugar itself is addictive.
Yeah, I mean, there has definitely been studies that show
sugar in so much stuff.
A dopamine response relatively equivalent to sugar is what you get from like cocaine and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can buy that for sure. I'm not disagreeing with you. Some people argue that you should be able to moderate everything, and a lot of the I didn't know this, but a lot of the communities within the disordered eating space, they push for this one-size-fits-all narrative in which, like, there's been studies done where they've literally force-fed people that have addictive tendencies foods that they are addicted to, so they're able to moderate them. But of course, that kind of backfires.
Go figure.
Yeah.
It's like giving an alcoholic alcohol.
Yeah.
Here, let's just give you some more and some more and some more. Maybe
Let's
you'll be able to moderate it.
only a little bit, only enough to moderate it, which is kind of strange to me. Like I don't get that. I think there's absolutely an argument to be made for foods being addictive in the same way that drugs and alcohol and sex or cigarettes, whatever is. So yeah, I totally concur there. I personally fall into the philosophy of thinking, and it's going to be different for everybody, but for me personally, I'm much more of an abstainer or an eliminator as opposed to a moderator. So for me, it's much less mentally exhausting to try and simply remove something that I know is addictive in nature to me than it is for me to try and like tiptoe around it and moderate it and have just enough to not have an adverse effect. Like the dose makes the poison, so to speak. I would prefer just to remove it completely.
I think if you're able to moderate something, it's not an actual addiction.
Yeah.
If you're able to moderate it, you're able to have a relationship with that thing without an issue. But I'm not someone who can do that. I tried that.
Are you addicted to me, or are you moderating?
Moderating. Like when I was smoking, I couldn't just have one and be fine and be like, oh yeah, I just have one next month sometime. It would just it would spring something in my brain where it was just like, I should probably just go buy a pack. I should probably just have one more. I should just, and it's just like little by little, you keep having more and more and more. And even when I switched my diet, I did the same thing with sugar. It was like, I'll just have one bite of this cookie. And then I ended up eating the whole cookie plus 2 more. I just couldn't moderate it. So in my mind, that's something that I couldn't stop unless I took it completely away from myself.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I find this interesting. I'd love to get your thoughts. Low battery. So if you are to processing makes things more addictive in nature. Like if something is complex, your body has to work very hard to break it down. It's much harder to break through those barriers to entry and become addictive. So like cocaine, for instance, is addictive, but there's quite a bit of processing that goes into extracting the cocaine from the cocoa leaf and making that addictive. If you just chew on a cocoa leaf, you're probably not going to be as addictive, or addicted rather. And if you look at macronutrients, if you look at different food groups, and you look at carbohydrates, for instance, and you process that and you pull sugar from that, and you've got sugar in isolation. If you are to do the same thing with a protein and a fat, and you are to have like a processed fat in isolation and a processed protein in isolation, which could be looking like something like an oil for fats and a whey protein isolate for protein. Things are going to have more of a bliss point in tandem. Like a carb paired with a fat is going to be likely more addictive than a carb in isolation or a fat in isolation. But of those 3 things in isolation, sugar tends to be much more addictive than an oil in isolation or a whey protein in isolation. I mean, a lot of people can go to town on some candy, and candy is just simply pure sugar. There's no protein or fat in it. So I thought that was interesting as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, let's dive into this. Joe P says, I got the book. What's up, Joe P? Thanks for grabbing that, man. I hope you love it.
Still sounds great.
Off topic, but did you ever try that CBD from Santa Cruz Medicinals? If so, did you feel a difference? They sent me several. I don't feel a difference with the pills. They sent me a muscle balm, and I use that, but I don't know if it's so much the CBD in the muscle balm that I feel as it is like the menthol, because most of those have a menthol base as well, and I definitely feel the menthol. But I'm a super skeptic when it comes to CBD. Like for me personally, some people swear by it.
Sunny said the same thing I said, and she said scientists make food so it's addictive. Exactly. Yeah. The food, the carbs, dopamine.
Your
keto bricks are addictive.
The keto bricks are addictive.
Sugar should be classified as a drug.
I think that'd be fair.
And I'm addicted to Mountain Valley sparkling water.
I'm addicted to Topo Chicos. Mike says, I know McDonald's used to put sugar on their French fries to make you eat more. That's crazy.
Disgusting.
Sugar on your French fries.
Here, let's get you some starch, and we'll put it in some terrible oils, and then we'll also put sugar on top. It's so insulin
Insulting.
It's so insulting to say that the answer is moderation, as if I never thought of that as an option when I was 260 pounds. Exactly.
Yeah, it's so strange. It's like, oh, just simply eat less of it, and you're like, killing yourself. Oh yeah, I'll just do that.
Yeah, Sunny said, totally agree with Mary.
Nobody
Nobody ever binges on ribeyes, just saying.
I don't know. I could probably binge on some ribeyes. Are you guys going to bring back the variety pack for keto bricks? Yes, the variety packs will be back in stock next week. We just restocked the cookies and cream, so those are back in stock. We're going to restock coconut later this week. We're going to restock peanut butter next week. And with that, we will have everything for the variety packs.
Crystal, you look amazing. Well, thank you, Kara. All right, that's all I got so far.
How y'all been a while? What's up, Brandon Knight? How are you? John says it's brown sugar in the McDonald's fries. They are soaked. Brown sugar in the fries. That is crazy.
That's really awful.
Hey, Robert and Crystal. Robert, this is Kenyette. How you doing? We need to catch up. I'm all for it. I was actually just thinking about you the other day, so I hope you are doing amazingly well. And just let me know. Hit me up for show.
For show.
There's recipes online for McDonald's fries. Whew. I don't think I'll be making any McDonald's fries.
Sean Baker binges on ribeye. I don't think he does, though. For real.
He eats what? Probably 2 or 3 ribeye a day or something like that?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I would totally eat 2 or 3 ribeye. We were actually just talking about that because I used to do that for a while. I did like a meat and bricks, and my meat was just ribeyes, and I could totally get down with that.
When I was having like eating disorders, I tried to go carnivore because I thought it was going to help me figure out to not overeat things, but I still overeat. I still went crazy trying to eat meat, which was really a weird feeling.
I haven't worked out in 5 days. I've run quite a bit. I ran 50 miles.
It's only been really 3 days.
Yeah, but I haven't worked out and I haven't lifted weights in 5 days. It's driving me crazy. Like my muscles disappeared on me. All right, what do we got here, y'all? Off topic. Peanut butter bricks. When will they be back in stock? They will be back in stock next week, probably by Wednesday. For sure. What else we got? I could binge on ribeye. Yeah, I feel like I could eat a ton of meat, but I feel like I probably would not binge on meat like I would on sugary foods. And the main reason being is I don't feel guilty eating a ton of meat. Like my body's gonna use and assimilate that. It may not be optimal if I'm gonna prep to overeat that meat, but it's not like I'm gonna feel guilty if I eat that meat. Whereas if I ate a whole bunch of cheesecake and candy and just toaster strudels, I would feel guilty for it. And I think that guilt sensation is oftentimes the catalyst for people to binge and purge. How much of your eating is a family habit versus addiction? Habits are hard to break. How much of your eating is a family habit versus addiction? I don't feel like we really eat by habit at all.
Yeah.
Like us personally.
Yeah.
People do for sure, especially in American society. Like we structure everything around food. Holidays, family get-togethers, everything's around food. That's a strange sensation. But like Crystal and I personally, I feel like we pretty much just eat when we're hungry.
Yeah, I think in family habit, I'm wondering if that's like long-term family habit or the habits that you have together, like dinner every evening. Because like even if I'm not hungry in the evening, I just say, oh, I'm not going to eat, or I'll make a shake or something like that. So I think for us, well, it's, no, I'm also thinking because they said versus addiction. So is it a family habit, which mine wasn't a family habit. Smoking or eating that much sugar and carbs. That was just me.
I'm addicted to the bricks.
That's funny.
Yeah, people say that, and I think they're joking. I'm assuming they're joking. I don't know if anybody's like actually binging on bricks because we don't add sweeteners to the bricks.
Yeah,
there is some naturally occurring in the protein powder that we add. Not naturally occurring since it was in nature like that, but it's in the protein, not something that we add additionally. Most rehab groups do not recommend trying to moderate the addict's addiction. If you are strong enough to leave it alone or only eat a little, then you are truly not addicted. Yeah, that's good.
I don't know about that. If you're strong enough to leave it alone, well, if you're able to only eat a little bit, I think that you're not truly addicted. I think that if you're able to leave it alone, that means that you're willing to overcome that thing because it took
That may be your
lot.
coping mechanism.
Yeah. And like for me, I had to find things in order to replace those things with. So when I quit smoking, I started eating a ton of sunflower seeds. And that was helpful because I was like, I needed something to fill that place. And I don't know. And then even whenever I quit eating like sugar and candies and whatever else, I ended up making like keto desserts, and then eventually I stopped really eating as much of it. But I think it took dedication and internal strength to be able to overcome that thing. Because there's people who are addicted to meth and eventually decide that they never want to do it again because they chose to better their life. So I feel like
That was this person I interviewed today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was addicted to meth, cocaine. She was a prostitute, all that stuff. And then she just said no, got her PhD, and like totally turned her life around. Pretty cool.
That's crazy. But I think people can be addicted to things and then leave it alone. That's why there is rehab groups.
Yeah. I received macadamia bars today. Great. Awesome. Thank you. High fructose corn syrup added now to everything to purposefully addict people, i.e. jarred tomato sauce. It is crazy what all high fructose corn syrup is in it. It's just mind-boggling to me. I agree that family eating habits are hard to break, especially eating certain foods that are associated with family memories.
Yeah, my family does a lot of like chocolate gravy and biscuits, and it's delicious, but literally it's a biscuit covered in sugar.
Yeah.
My I don't eat it anymore.
All kinds of those too.
Yeah, when I go visit my family, I don't eat it because I know I'm better for it. Even though
they try to make you feel bad though.
I want to be a part of it, and I want to enjoy that because it's a memory and something that I've always used to have as a child. But I don't feel bad for not eating it, and then I just eat my eggs and meat and whatever else I'm having, and I feel better. And once the meal's over, nobody even remembers that I didn't eat it.
That's true. Jonathan saying, "Yo, what's up? How y'all doing tonight? What's up, man? We doing dandy." He says, "Nope, not kidding. I've had binging episodes with the brick, only the peanut butter one."
Oh no,
that's crazy. Probably don't need to eat those then, not in excess. So I think so much of diabetes is because we eat like our parents eat, and they eat like their parents eat. I don't think diabetes is so much hereditary.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I definitely think that's a huge aspect of things that people don't really want to look at, but it's true.
That's what I did with cocaine. Just snap, didn't even want it anymore. Situations become too stupid. I don't even think about that anymore years ago. Yeah. See, I've got like utmost respect for people that can recognize their life is not on the trajectory they want it to be on, and then make the mental shift and let that manifest into physical actions to totally change course. So congrats to you, man.
Hello, family. Great to see you. You're live at camp. I'm not even going to try the Lejeune. Yep.
What's up, Keto Tiny Vintage?
Kevin makes keto biscuits and chocolate gravy. It's way better.
I'll be down trying some of that.
There's no type 2 diabetes gene.
This is true. It's amazing. It is crazy how so many people, like, to have like so many children developing type 2 diabetes now in single-digit ages, like not even 10 years old, as a result of their lifestyle habits. Probably didn't help that their parents were probably, dealing with gestational diabetes, et cetera, but so many kids are developing type 2 diabetes sub 10 years old based off of their life's decisions in their short life. That just blows my mind.
A lot of it is just sitting in front of a TV screen or playing video games, not being active, eating junk food. It's really sad, but it's not based off of their genes from being, it being hereditary. It's from being inactive, overeating of junk food and just crap,
By the way, shout out to Keto Mary. She put something on her newsletter the other day, and I think it was 8 years strict keto. I'm pretty sure it was 8 years. Let me know if I'm wrong, Mary, but I'm pretty sure it was 8 years.
Way to go, Mary.
So all this kind of going into consideration here, she has been keto for 8 years, not moderate, not dip her toe in the water, but like hardcore, strict with it because that's what she knows works for her. And I totally admire that. That's awesome.
Yep.
How long are you? 6 years? I'm 7 years, something like that.
Years.
Yeah. So more power to you. What else we got? Any more questions, y'all? We're 20 minutes in.
We also need a topic for next week.
We do need a topic for next week. We do. What are we training tomorrow? Chest or back?
Whatever.
Either one. Any questions, y'all? Any questions? If not, we're going to wrap this one up a little early because we got some errands to run. Thank you. Yes, 8 years.
That's awesome,
Mary. Can you read that without getting closer?
No.
No? Your glasses, girl.
Oh, well, on the backpack.
All right. All right, y'all. We're going to call it quits early then. We got a couple meetings tonight. I got to get a bunch of finances done. I got to pay taxes. I got to do all kinds of fun stuff. So
all kinds of fun stuff.
I'll see y'all on the flip side. Real quick before I leave.
We need a topic for next week.
There we go. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Please need to see these two in action on YouTube. Help them out. Thanks, Joe P.
Thanks.
Appreciate that, man. Thanks for the topic. Good topic. You bet. I like topics around mindset and stuff. Thank y'all for everyone that tuned in and supported us on when I was doing the Instagram every 4 miles on the 4x4x48 challenge. That was this past weekend. A lot of support and love there. We raised, so far we're at like 1,600 something for raising money for the orphans with Down syndrome. So super excited about that. Here we go. Cheers, y'all. And then Dr. Joan Iflin helps with processed food addiction. Yeah, I had her on the podcast not too long ago. Check that out for sure. February 28th was my keto-versary, 1986. Woohoo. That's pretty crazy. Pretty sick. 1986. That would not be 8 years ago. Oh, this is keto tiny vintage. I was looking at Mary's and then I saw that one. I'm like, I think my math might be wrong here. That's awesome. All right, y'all. Well, nothing but love. Appreciate y'all.
I guess we'll just make up a topic for next week.
We talk about your addiction to me. Yeah. All right. Catch y'all later. Take care.
Bye, guys.